What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Forza Motorsport 6 and my World Championship. This is round 3, which is going to be S Class all-wheel drive cars. I got a bunch of cars from the 6 countries that are taking part in this championship and upgraded them to S Class. They're all-wheel drive, so let's get started with number 1, which is the Maserati Ghibli S from Italy. So this, by the way, this is in order from the current standing. So Italy is currently at the top of the standings, so I went first with them. UK is at the bottom of the standings, so I went last with them. That's how this is going to work. So yeah, the Maserati Ghibli is an interesting car, as known by Failrace as the Maserati Ghibli, which is a great name, let's be honest. It's a car that I've actually never driven in this game, and I don't think I've ever driven in any game, to be honest. I've only ever really been in Forza games that, you know, from what I've played. And it's an interesting car. It's just kind of a four-door sedan. Pretty basic car, really. And yeah, I've never actually driven it before, so this was the first time I ever have got to experience this car. I don't have all the power and weight figures and things like that on me right now, but this was kind of the middle average sort of car out of all 6. It was a very average car. It was fairly good handling. What do you expect? Next up was France with the Peugeot 205 Turbo 16. I think it's 16. Yeah, this is sadly with France. The problem with France is that they don't have many cars in this game. There's basically 3 French manufacturers that I can use. That's Peugeot, Renault, and Bugatti. And the only other cars that I could use with this, with them being standard all-wheel drive, which is, you know, I wanted the cars to be standard all-wheel drive. And the other cars I could use were the Bugatti Veyron and the Bugatti, what is it? Oh god, EB110. They're the only other 2 cars I could use, and those 2 cars were too high up for my liking. So I had to use the Peugeot 205 Turbo 16. It was all over the place. As you can see, the right headlight has been busted. I'm pretty sure the right tail light's busted as well, because I hit a lot of walls with this car. This thing's got too much power, and it's too light for this high up. I think in a lower class it would be a very good car, but in S Class it's just far too all over the place. Next up we have Germany with the Audi TTS Coupe. So this is the newer of the Audi TTs. I quite like the Audi TTs, and especially the TTS Coupe. I think it's a very nice looking car. It drives fairly well, and yeah, I wasn't really sure what to expect from this car. I haven't actually driven it in this game, or I don't believe in Forza Horizon 3 either. I have driven this same TTS Coupe in Gran Turismo 6 though. I did a race car build on it quite a while ago now, and it actually wasn't that quick. It was way down the back of the field, back of the leaderboard, should I say. I think it was actually in last place when I kind of finished up with that series, or at least second to last. So yeah, it wasn't that quick in Gran Turismo, but on this game, it was actually pretty quick. I actually really liked the Audi. It was a nice, quick car. It got around the corners well. It had some decent acceleration and stuff from it. Once again, it was fairly average with its power and weight, much like the Maserati Ghibli. Next up, we have the USA with the Tesla Model S P85D. Now, this is an interesting car because you think of America, you think of big, loud muscle cars. However, when I was searching for an all-wheel drive car that was relatively high up in its class, because, you know, I wanted these cars to be, most of these cars are kind of very high C class from standard. They're either very high C class, anywhere in B class, or low A class. This was really the only car I could use for America, because it's actually kind of low to mid A class, and it was really the only car I could use in that kind of bracket. And it's alright. It's very quick. This thing has over 800 horsepower, going on 900 horsepower. Only makes it the second most powerful car out of all these, but yeah, very powerful car. Absolutely flies down the straights, crazy acceleration. However, it is quite heavy, so through the corners it is quite handful. However, a very quick car indeed. Next up we have Japan with the Subaru WRX STI. Now I was actually going to use the newest Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution for this, however I couldn't get that car up to the top of S Class, which I was surprised about. There was only one engine swap from what I remember. The Turbo Rally engine. I think there was also... No, I think it was just the Turbo Rally engine, but if there was another engine, I remember I tried both engines. I could not get it up to the top of S Class, so Yeah, but the Subaru WRX was my second option, and you know, this was an alright car. I like the WRX. This is the newest version. I haven't actually driven it in this game yet. However, here I am driving it now. It's a nice car. Once again, fairly average with weight and power. Around about the 600-ish horsepower mark from what I remember. Similar to the Gibble and the TTS, I believe. Maybe a little more than the Audi, but yeah, sadly it wasn't. It just didn't feel that quick. It wasn't very quick around the track, which was a little bit disappointing. And then finally we have the UK, the United Kingdom, with the Bentley Continental GT Speed. Now, I picked the track before I picked all these cars, and I thought, you know, Long Beach should be a cool track. It has a lot of technical sections in it, but it's also got a lot of fast sections. And when I picked the car for the UK, which there wasn't actually too much to choose from, so I had to go with the Bentley, which is at the bottom of A class to start with. I thought this car should probably do okay, at least in the fast sections, because this is the most powerful car with going on, I think, 950 horsepower. A hell of a lot of power in this thing. However, it is heavy. I believe it is the heaviest car here, heavier than the Tesla, and it does feel heavy around the corners. It really is sluggish around the corners. However, you get it to a straight, and it absolutely flies. So yeah, I was happy with how this car drove speed-wise, but around the corners was a little bit of a handful. Anyway, we get on to the times for this round. Italy, nope, sorry, not Italy, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. USA wins, comes in first place with a 125.320. Then in second, we have the Audi TTS Coupe for Germany, 126.459. In third, the Maserati Ghibli S with a 126.819. In fourth, the Bentley Continental GT Speed at 126.908 for the UK. That's good because that gets them a decent position. In fifth, we have the Subaru WRX STI 128.029, and in sixth, the Peugeot 205 Turbo 16 with a 129.267. So that Peugeot did not go very quick at all. For the current standings all together, now we have Italy and Germany and USA all tied for first place with 42 points each. Yeah, it's all very, very close at the top. I mean, the first three countries, exact same points. And then in fourth we have France with 34 points, dropping down a little bit because of this bad performance in this round. Japan with 29 points in fifth, and UK with 24 points in sixth. So UK's climbed up a little bit this time, couple points higher than Japan. However, it's still anyone's game at the top there, with the three leading teams all with the same points. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.